I want to talk to you about a few species of birds which are truly iconic in terms of what they signify. The first bird that I would like to talk about is the greater flamingo. The greater flamingo is a very tall bird, standing. An adult male would be standing about 5 feet in height, and I think most people would instantly recognize a flamingo when you see one. These birds in the wild live to over 40 years, and in captivity are known to live exceeding 60 years. And that's a long time for a bird, and we don't think of birds living that long, do we? Now the flamingos are what is referred to as a filter feeder. So the ideal feeding grounds for the flamingos that arrive in thousands, by the thousands to Sri Lanka and to Mannar. The ideal feeding grounds for them are the shallow lagoon, maybe 2 to 3 feet maximum in depth, and has sufficient muddy substrate, which breeds the kind of food, the crustacea that they feed on. And their particular hook type of beak is very efficient at filtering these organisms that live in the mud. So these birds spend an extraordinary amount of time out in the lagoons with their heads underwater, sifting through the mud, and sifting out and sieving out all these tiny little crustacea that they feed to assist that. And when you watch these birds for a length of time, you begin to realize just how their feeding mechanism and how they feed, and the way they juggle their feet up and down, stirring up the mud, and with that the crustaceans that are buried a little deeper would come out, and how they would filter feed these crustacea. And often it's very comical sometimes, because these two tall birds with their necks completely buried inside the water, which is almost always murky, sometimes end up tangling their necks underwater, and then they both sort of rise up, gasping for breath, and trying to untangle these long sinewy necks. And it's really comical. They're truly magnificent birds, and to watch them and look at them through a telescope, or a field scope, a bird scope, or a pair of binoculars is something extraordinary. It's truly a worthwhile spectacle to see. We also, Mannar here, we also play host to a bird that is referred to as the bar-tailed godwit. Now, the bar-tailed godwit would be, in general shape, slightly larger than a household chicken. But there is something truly extraordinary about this bird. Now, this bird, once again, breeds in the Arctic Circle, in the high Arctic, and wends its way down to these tropical shores. But the truly remarkable thing about the bar-tailed godwit is his supreme ability to fly incredibly long distances. And very recently, a bar-tailed godwit was tracked by satellites on a 12,000 kilometer journey, non-stop, across the Pacific Ocean. And this is a bird which is that size. And it's truly remarkable how these birds can, first of all, fly such long distances without food, without stop, and then to be able to navigate, to go where they want to go. Truly, I think these are the astonishing facts about birds that very little is known about, that mankind is only now beginning to unravel. The peregrine falcon is another remarkable bird that grazes the region of Mannar. The peregrine falcon is a bird of prey, or a raptor as we call it. It is a member of the larger eagle family, and it's exclusively a carnivore. But unlike a lot of the other birds of prey, and unlike a lot of the other raptors, the peregrine falcon is a remarkable aerial acrobat, and its characteristic hunting method is to fly at great speed from a very great height down on an unsuspecting bird, such as a pigeon or any other bird flying below it. And to achieve this, the peregrine falcon adopts a stance what is called as a stoop, where it folds its wings at a certain angle and swoops down on the unsuspecting bird from very high up, and arriving at that terminal velocity of the peregrine falcon's downward flight, they are regularly clocked at 320 kilometers an hour. And The record for the flight of a peregrine falcon is at 389 kilometers an hour. Now, that's a phenomenal speed for a little bird about that size. In fact, the peregrine falcon is the fastest flying animal of all time, 389 kilometers an hour, and that's a lot of speed. And the devastating power and the havoc they wreak on the birds that they attack. So that is another fascinating bit of information about yet another species of birds that comes to Mannar to spend their winter here. For a traveler that's interested in seeing all these birds that I've just talked about, these magnificent birds by their tens and tens of thousands of birds, how does one get an opportunity to see these birds? Particularly, Mannar being so far away, it's relatively unknown territory. And how does an average traveler know where to go, what times to go, what birds to see, so on and so forth? And that's where we come in. Palmyra House, where I am located right now, where I live and work. We, in the hotel here, specialize in birding, and we specialize in birding tours. For travelers who come and stay with us, particularly during the period November on to April, we have a program where we offer the free services of professional field ornithologists or field bird guides for our guests. So what this translates to is that if you were to book a room in Palmyra House and stay with us for a couple of nights, our bird guides would accompany you every morning and in the evening to go on birding tours. And our bird guides are professionals, vastly knowledgeable on the subject of birds and everything about birds. They know Mannar inside out, and what they would do is to they would accompany you to places of interest where you would be able to see all these birds. We in the hotel have equipment available for birding, such as field scopes and binoculars, and of course we have the know-how and we know where to go. And so this is something that we have specialized in, have fine-tuned over the last so many years, and have been very successful in offering our guests something very different to just coming and spending time in Mannar and hoping and just going around hoping to see some birds. Palmyra House is a 14-bedroom hotel, beautifully appointed, luxurious, comfortable. It's a very green, thickly forested property with the hotel set in a big garden of 37 acres. We have a swimming pool, a gymnasium, a library and conference facilities, and we specialize in Northern Province food. And some of our meals, and particularly the crab dish, is something you got to taste to believe it's that good. What we offer guests is quiet relaxation, peace, an opportunity to see Mannar at a very leisurely pace, and particularly at this time of the year to see this magnificent spectacle of all these migrant birds. So do contact us. We'll be very glad to assist you in forming any itinerary that you may wish to, depending on your disposable time. Apart from the birding, there is so many other cultural sites and historical sites of great interest to go and see. So we are at your service to help you formulate your perfect getaway holiday. So let's hope we see you soon, and we look forward to welcoming you at Palmyra House. Thank you.